Hello, everyone, and welcome into another episode of Rock Talk. My name is John Calavita. I'm here alongside my broadcast partner, Nick Marino, and we got another guest, Sam Hanson from Seattle University. Sam's transferred twice. But Sam, we're going to start the way we always do. Can you give us a scouting report on yourself?
Yeah, I'm about left-handed pitcher, upper eights, touch, low 90s. I got a lot of arm side run on the fastball sinker, and then I just kind of throw a slider with that has, the sinker goes that way, slider goes that way, so it plays tunnels pretty well. So that's I guess that's about it. That's all I got.
I love that. And John just mentioned it. You said you've transferred twice, but now it's your first year with Seattle University. I know you were just talking to us about the Seattle traffic, but what's your experience been like in Seattle and with the team as well?
It's good. You got a great group of guys out here. I didn't really know what to expect. You're always, whenever you move across the country or to a new spot, you never really know what to expect. So, but yeah, I'm liking it a lot. It's a good place, good group of guys. Good, great coaches. Can't really ask for much better coaching staff than out here. So
sweet. And so we mentioned transfer twice, Minnesota State, Mankato, and then St. John. So what kind of went into those decisions, and then how did you kind of end up picking Seattle as your home now?
Well, Mankato, I redshirted there as a freshman. So, and I just didn't really see myself spending 4 years at Minnesota State Mankato. So I ended up doing my undergrad stuff at St. John's, got my degree there. And then during COVID, I got an extra year eligibility. So that's what brought me here to do the grad school and use my last 2 years.
What would you say is the biggest difference in the transition from Division II to Division I?
Division I, I'd say, obviously, just from learning from the games we've played here so far, we've had a pretty tough non-conference schedule so far. We started the season off at Texas A&M, and they're ranked like number 4. And they're in the semifinals of the College World Series last year, so that was their opening weekend. So that was big. That was a big test for us. There's like 10,000 people there. So, and that was definitely like the guys you play against don't really make as many mistakes as like versus Division II or Division III. So you're playing with a lot sharper guys for sure. And then like just the time consumption is there every day. Like, you're at practice for 3-4 hours a day, and then you go to weights, and then there's mental skills and just a whole bunch more time, which I like. I personally like that a lot more, but it's just definitely a lot more time as well as far as training.
Yeah, we've talked to a lot of guys, and they've said the same thing, is that really at any level, but especially D1, the amount of time you're going to spend, it kind of consumes life. But on another note,
it's a full-time job. That's basically what it is.
That's what I've been saying. Division I baseball is a full-time job. It's I often wonder, I have a lot of friends who play Division I baseball. I worked in summer baseball. This is my 3rd season. These guys, like, it's very tough for you, especially like with the classes, especially you as a graduate student, with the classes you're taking, to really have a life outside of school and baseball.
Yeah, it's tough to find the free time sometimes, but yeah, really the only time we get like free time is like during the November months, where it's between fall ball and the season, where we're just kind of lifting and doing like lighter work. But yeah,
it's just I admire the level of dedication you guys put into it. But something we came up while we were getting ready for this, second in St. John's history in single game strikeouts with 12. Is that part of like your approach as a pitcher? Are you trying to strike guys out, or are you kind of just attacking a batter and seeing you can get him out anyway?
Yeah, I just try and throw it down the middle every time. So and honestly, we were fortunate enough to have at Seattle. I was fortunate enough to have a big leaguer that used to pitch at Seattle. He came talk to us one day. I don't know if you recognize his name, Tarek Skubal.
Yeah,
he's a lefty plays for the Detroit Tigers. He's a really good lefty in their Tigers rotation. But he says he even has like a shotgun approach to the strike zone. He just tries to throw it in the middle and let just trust his stuff and trust that it's going to move enough to where the hitter's not really going to do much with it. So, and like for me, like I don't throw like as hard as there's definitely a lot of guys at Division I that throw harder than I do. And I just kind of trust my stuff to move enough where I get weak contact anyway. So I'm not really focused on strikeouts. So just try and throw it down the middle, let the movement play itself. So
100%.
Sandy Koufax was in the minor. When he was in the minors, he was throwing, upper 90s, low hundreds. And he became a better pitcher when he stopped trying to make him miss it. And he started trying to make him hit it. Weak contact, there's a million ways to pitch. I mean, obviously Greg Maddux won, a million Cy Youngs and he didn't throw anything over 90 once he reached the age of 30. So, it's all about your approach and it's all about your location. They say real estate, location for pitching. It's all about that. But I mean, how do you think you've grown as a pitcher throughout your college career? I believe you're in your fifth year, right? You're in your fifth year right now, right?
Yeah, academically, right, fifth year.
Yeah. So,
but it's my redshirt junior year, I think.
Redshirt junior year, okay. But how do you think you've grown as a pitcher so far as your college career has gone on?
I'd say I definitely started off with command issues. Wouldn't that be? And when I did that, I was just kind of trying to either throw too hard or I was trying to like be too fine and aim it, if that makes sense. So like that's what was nice is learning from a lot of older guys that I've come across in my path. The guys that are in like the minors and majors already, they even say like don't try to be too fine, like just try and just throw it down the middle. You don't have to hit a perfect spot every time. Like even guys in the show are missing spots or just throwing it like I said, shotgun approach kind of, and just kind of let their stuff play. Because hitting's hard enough. So
is there anything that you're like currently working on right now to work into your repertoire?
Not really. You don't make many big changes during the season. They kind of spend the off season frame focusing on that type of stuff. Yeah, nothing too specific.
And we've been talking a lot about school ball, but this is going to be you're familiar with the Northwoods. I guess we'll put it like that. 3 summers on 3 different teams. Of course, you were out in Rochester last summer. What has it been like being on 3 teams in that league, and how can you kind of compare each of those unique experiences?
Yeah, so the first year was during that COVID year in Bismarck, so that was it was a different year for Northwoods usually, I think. So usually that Northwoods League is a heavy travel schedule, with the bus rides, away games and all that. And I think Bismarck, it was the pod, so there were just 3 teams in the Bismarck pod, and we just stayed in Bismarck all summer. So that was kind of nice. That was kind of like seemed a little more vacation like, but or it was a little easier because you didn't really have travel requirements. But yeah, and then Mud Puppies was a away team only. That was definitely a lot more of a grind.
Yeah.
So yeah, but then Rochester's my first like full Northwood season, and I enjoyed that. So that's obviously why I'm coming back. But yeah, Rochester's been awesome.
What made you want to come back? Like why are you coming back to Rochester for a second year?
Okay, so yeah. We had a great group of guys on the team. So we were talking about how much fun we had, how we want to come back next year, stuff like that. Rochester's also a great spot to live in, having the rack, have access to the rack and everything. Really nice gym. And then when I found out Herbo was coming back, he's a good guy to play for. It makes you want to do well for him, type of guy. Does a good job with keeping us locked in and having fun and everything. So yeah, Herbo's a great guy to play for.
I love that. Yeah, so after your playing career is over, whenever that is, after school, whenever, do you have any like aspirations after at least playing baseball is over for you?
Yeah, obviously the goal is to play baseball as long as you can, see how far you can make it. But I think it'd be really fun to be go into coaching someday, to be a pitching coach on a college team or minor league or whatever that may be. So
Yeah.
that's always, I feel like something I'd be naturally good at, something that wouldn't feel like work, if that makes sense.
100%.
Do you have a walk-up song, like when you're coming into pitch? Is there a song that's playing on the loudspeaker for you?
Oh, at the one I have right now out here is it's called, I don't know if you guys have heard "Hail to the King" by Avenged. I think it's called Avenged Sevenfold is the band. Anything that's like anything's like a hard, it's like a rock or anything, but like anything with guitar in it, some kind of rock or metal to get me fired up to pitch. So that's usually what I go to.
My walk-up song in high school was Headlines by Drake. And but the one I should have done, I realized this yesterday. I should have done the song from the beginning of Cars called "Real Gone" by Sheryl Crow. I should have been that one. It should have been that one.
Banger. Yeah, that's a banger. Yeah, hitting and pitching walk-ups are two different vibes though. You gotta have, it's different mood. Hitting's a little more rap stuff you could do, but I don't know, I feel like pitching's a little different.
Yeah, I mean, pitching, you've got like more time in the song. Batting, it's like whatever it is.
Right.
That's true, actually.
Yeah,
right.
pitching, you've got like pretty much the entire song.
Yeah, pitching, it could range. My stuff could range to Rihanna too. You never know. Some old school Rihanna.
All right, now that you say that, I'm gonna have to rig it so you come out to Umbrella one game. I'm gonna rig.
I'm all right with that. Or just you gotta do like Disturbia or something like that.
Oh, okay. Oh, Disturbia. Yeah, no, that's actually better.
One of her Super Bowl halftime songs or something like that.
That was fire. The straight, she was coming out with straight bangers in the halftime
show.
That was something to see.
She also forgot to do a lot of her good ones too.
She only had like 12 minutes, right?
Yeah.
But getting back on track here. Who do you think is the person that has had the biggest effect on your development as a pitcher?
That's a great question. If I could pick anyone?
Yeah, anyone.
Oh boy, that's a tough question. Biggest development as a pitcher. The person I always talk to about the games after every outing is my dad usually. So usually call him up. He's the one I can talk to about how we're doing, what we can do to get better, all that. And then I don't know, it's hard to pick one, but you got to be either him and like a few other coaches along the way. We're really lucky to have our pitching coach out here played in the big leagues. He's on the Mariners, Marlins, Padres, so he's got to be one of the best pitching coaches I've ever had. So it's really nice to have him out here.
That's awesome. We were talking about walk-up songs, but you've been you're a reliever, so a little bit different than knowing a day of a start. But do you have what's your pre-game routine, like the day of a game, maybe a game that you're likely to come in? Do you have any routines pre-game, any specific things that you do to get ready?
Yeah, I'll wake up usually, it depends on the game time. So if Northwoods League game's a game, usually sleep till 10. Try get your good baby sleep in. If it's a night game, usually wake up, go to the gym, get your body moving a little bit. Then you end up eating lunch or whatever before the fields. And then you get through the BP pregame routine, whatever. And then when I'll play catch before the game, usually I'll do my whole warm-up routine or whatever. And usually I'll put headphones in or whatever before I play catch, when we're doing the warm-up plyo balls, whatever. But yeah, other than that, nothing too crazy. But
so something going on right now in baseball that's absolutely being huge. The finals is playing right now. I'm not sure if it's ended quite yet, but what do you think of the World Baseball Classic?
Well, that's been awesome. They got to have that more frequently, in my opinion. Because it's always it. You get a lot of people watching people at the games, obviously. So people are we're always watching in between.
96% of TVs, 96% of TVs in Japan were tuned into the game. Japan versus Mexico the other night.
Yeah,
really.
That's an insane stat. And they're saying that's
actually wild.
Tonight's game might be the most watched baseball game ever.
Like ever.
The Japan USA game.
And I bet in history. Yeah. Do we know the score of that?
It's 3-2 Japan. 3-2 Japan at the moment. Top of the ninth. So hopefully when this is published, the USA comes out with a last inning victory.
Yeah. Otani's coming in, so we'll see about that. One more question here before we move into the fun part. What do you love most about baseball?
What do I love most about baseball? I just say it's like I don't know how to word it. It's just like therapeutic, you know what I mean? Like it's something you can do. It's like the one thing you can do, or you just like, I don't know. That's what I enjoy myself the most. So I'm just throwing, you know.
Yeah. 100%.
No, I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying with that, because when I was a senior in high school, my dad still had keys to our old little league page, and my senior year of high school was when COVID just started. So, but before that, I would take my dad's old keys, go into the batting cage at like 9:30 at night, and just hit for like an hour and a half.
Yeah.
And just take swings off the tee, and that's just one of the best. It's just therapeutic. You put music on, you just hit for an hour, and it just feels good. You're working up a sweat. It's baseball, man. You can't not be romantic about baseball.
Oh yeah.
Right. Yeah, you just clear your head, you know.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah, you could have a bad day, whatever. You could have the worst day, whatever's going on, like, and then you can start throwing or whatever, and you just don't even think about it, you know.
Absolutely. All right. So here's the fun part. So I asked you your favorite team. You told me it is the Twins. You grew up watching them, but you're not the biggest Twins fan anymore. But here I have 5 trivia questions about the Twins. If you get 4 of them right, I owe you a pack of seeds.
Okay, let's do it.
All right. So now question number 1. Before Joe Mauer was a Twins legend, he was originally a 5-star quarterback and the number 2 pro-style quarterback in the country in the class of 2001. Where was he committed?
Florida.
Florida State.
Damn. Oh, man. I knew it was somewhere in Florida. It was really Florida State, huh? I thought it was the Gators.
I think, no, that wasn't Team T, but that's way too early for Team T, though.
Way too early.
The Twins relocated to Minnesota in 1961. What team were they known yet? What were they known as before that?
Montreal Expos, right?
They were known as the Washington Senators.
Oh man, I'm not getting these seeds. Shoot. Oh.
It's all right. It's all right. Let's see if you get the last 3. This one might be hard though. So the Twins and the Tigers matched up for the 163rd game in 2009 to decide the AL Central. You know, the winner would face the Yankees and the loser was done. So Alexi Casilla got the game-winning hit in the 12th inning of that game. Who scored? Who scored the winning run?
Oh, I want to say Nick Punto.
Dude, that's a great guess. It's Carlos Gomez.
Cargo.
No, that's Carlos Gonzalez, Nick. Carlos Gonzalez is Cargo.
Right, that's good.
Yeah, those are the days I miss watching the Twins right there, is when they had those guys.
Dude, well, here's something that's, going to bring back bad memories. The Twins have the record for a playoff losing streak at 18 games. When was the last time the Twins won a playoff game?
It had to have been the same year when they won the World Series, right? Was it not?
It was not in 1990. Wait, it was 1991, 1990, I think.
Are you saying the answer?
It wasn't. A little bit more recent than that.
Is it 2001?
It was game 1 of the 2004 ALDS against the Yankees. And they haven't won a playoff game since they beat the playoff series, since they beat the Moneyball A's in 2002. All right, this here's the last one. So the Twins Senators franchise has seen 7 no-hitters. Who was the last Twins player to throw a no-hitter?
Oh boy. Last Twins player to throw a no-hitter. I should know this. I have no idea. I'm gonna go. No, wait. I think I do. Is it Johan Santana?
No, it's Francisco Liriano.
Oh, the other, yeah, the other lefty. That's all right.
So Johan Santana. I mean, Johan Santana threw a no-hitter for the Mets. Right around the time he stopped being good.
Yeah, I remember I knew it was a lefty, but for Francisco Liriano, I forgot about that.
Yeah. No, going back to question 2, the Expos became the Nationals.
Okay.
And I don't know. So I make these questions like I make them like 6.5 out of 10 hard, because I frankly am not trying to buy seeds for every single one of you. Because Frank and Pete Kraska got the only ones.
I get it.
5 times. They're the only ones that have gotten. They got all 5. They're the only ones that have beaten the game so far.
Yeah, I just didn't want to make you buy seeds.
He's a nice guy.
No, yeah. I'm all trying to do it. Like it was either buy seeds or buy a C4, and the consensus was buy seeds. So
yeah.
All right. So thank you, Sam, for hopping on here with us. Great time, a great chat. Cannot wait to get to know you throughout this summer. But that is gonna do it for this episode of Flock Talk. For Nick Marino and Sam Hanson, I'm John Calavita, and we'll see you next time.